Always the busybodies, always out there screwing with people. I got some advice for you, Popo. Anytime you have a clubhouse of a motorcycle club, it does not matter whatsoever if they're an outlaw club, if they're a regular mom and pop club. The neighborhood is always safer. And when you guys go in there and disrupt the flow, everything goes to batshit, okay? That's what happens when you busybodies go harass motorcycle clubs. This is exactly what happened. What we're going to be covering in these news stories is the cops decided to go in and arrest 3 people. Now, what does that accomplish, I say? It's funny, I was having a discussion with a old friend way back about how the neighborhood has changed where I'm from. And the Italians used to make sure that the neighborhood was always safe, no crime whatsoever. And then the FBI, forever bother Italians, went in and screwed that up. And now the neighborhood is unrecognizable. I'm talking, it is flipped, changed, all that stuff, all because the feds had to go in there and screw it all up. And I equate that to the same thing that is going on now with the Outlaws in Kankakee. You start messing with clubhouses, the crime goes to crap. I don't know if it's because cops get upset that somebody else is able to do their jobs when, of course, they're off eating donuts or something. But anyway, here's the story that I am talking about here. Okay? 3 men arrested in raid on suspected motorcycle clubhouse. It is kind of funny how they put suspected motorcycle clubhouse. Everything's on the building, signs. Well, let's just say that the news media isn't that smart. Shaw Local, Northern Illinois. The Metropolitan Enforcement Group arrested 3 people, and this happened last month, but they're just printing the story now. I guess they confiscated guns and marijuana. Marijuana's legal in Illinois. What are you doing? Okay, that shouldn't even have been in there, and it wouldn't have been if it wasn't a club. It is. It's legal. I can go right up the road to the dispensary and get it. It's legal. And cash, well, it's funny they bring up cash. I wonder if they go in there, they find, like $4,000 or $5,000. Next thing you know, they report it as 2. You know how that works. Wink, wink, coppers. I guess raid of a suspected motorcycle house. Now, according to the documents obtained by Shaw, the house, let's see here. I ain't going to give the address out. They were made aware of the arrest this week. I guess that's their excuse for taking so long to report this. While the 3 men were arrested, according to the report, there are no Kankakee County records showing that the men were charged by the state's attorney. That's confusing. The plot thickens right there. So they were arrested and there ain't no charges. And again, it goes in about it's an alleged building. If you can see right here, nobody's stupid. They can tell. I guess the director of that task force said no information could be released since the investigation was ongoing. So it's a mystery what they're doing. Now, I guess they were assisted by the Tri-County Stolen Auto Task Force, the Kane County Police Department, and the Illinois State Police SWAT team. Would they bring in one of them tanks to go through the door or something? You know, they always bring these things for no reason at all. I just think it's really intimidation and to show everybody how long their schlong is. That's just my opinion right there. Moving on to another one right here. This is out of 8newsnow.com. North Las Vegas police arrested a second suspect months after what appeared to be, according to them, a motorcycle gang-related deadly shooting. I guess on May 26, Billy Gazaway was put on several charges, including open murder with a deadly weapon related to the February 21st shooting. And again, it doesn't mention the club's names in here, so even though I know who they are, I don't put it in here until it's released to the public. Once officers arrived, they found a man who was suffering from an apparent critical injury, and medical personnel took him to a nearby hospital, and unfortunately, he was pronounced dead days later. Now, the cops did not identify the victim. That was funny because the suspect in the shooting was identified as a 35-year-old. Now, he faces also a charge of open murder with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit murder, and violation of probation. You know, they just had to throw that one in. Now, according to the declaration of arrest, they saw a victim inside a bar, sent a text message saying that a rival was in there. Two people replied to the message and went to the bar before the shooting. Not the smartest thing to do. Return a text about gonna be showing up there, and next thing you know, the guy's shot and dead. Not the best thing to do. Now, I guess Robinson and the victim fought in the parking lot, and during the fight, Robinson shot the victim before leaving the scene. So it went from fisticuffs to pulling out a gun. Always happening nowadays. I don't get it. The victim was a member of a known outlaw motorcycle gang, according to them, and Robinson was a member of a rival. And the report said that the two had been at odds with each other, and there were documented shootings between the two. Now, I guess Gasaway, according to them, allegedly, was a high-ranking member, and any decision to act that night would have had to been approved by him. Then, of course, the video surveillance comes in. I guess it was driven by Gasaway, arrived before the shooting. After the shooting, the two drove away from the scene. Again, he's in the Clark County Detention Center without bail, and he'll be appearing in court on June 15th on open murder with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit murder, battery with the use of a deadly weapon. Everything they're throwing at this guy big time, man. Big time they're throwing everything at him. Whew. Unbelievable nowadays. Anyway, we're going to go right back here. What do you guys think, man, of my thoughts on how the neighborhoods are usually great and all that, and then all of a sudden the cops move in, screw everything up, screw, the flow of things up, and the neighborhood turns to crap? There's an undeniable a 2-3 block radius of a clubhouse. It's nice and safe, even if it's on the worst side of the neighborhood. Let me know. Don't forget, go over to Insane Throttle Music on YouTube. We got everything for you guys, all kinds of genres of music. Put it on your playlist. Rock on.
Insane Throttle Outlaw Rock, featuring Insane Throttle and Defiant Afterlife. Get your playlist full of pure rock and metal. Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Subscribe and crank it up.